Okay, we left off covering, we were here on arithmetic stuff. Okay, I'm not going to put it in presentation mode, it'll be easier this way. But we talked about, actually we already did that one, didn't we?
Yeah, we were.
That's right. How did I say we're on 48? Oh, I was 32. Ah, hold on. Put a 48. There it is. That's the one. Problem solving is where we left off at. Okay. Problem solving firsthand, a very important step is to develop an algorithm that's come up with a plan of how to fix it. Friday, I had to go downtown and get a building permit. Has anyone ever got a building permit before? Not a fun thing. Okay. But, because I'm doing remodeling of my house, we're adding on. And actually getting the permit was not that big a deal. I just had to do a lot of paperwork. The hard part was paying the darn bill. It was $353 and it took over an hour to pay a bill. I guess the same place y'all get your garage sales at. But okay, so I had to go down there and give them a plan of the remodel. Here's what we're adding, here's the sizes, here's where the bathroom's gonna be, and all that other stuff. So writing computer programs, same way. You come up with a plan of what you want to do, okay? I'm not gonna walk through their example. I actually looked at this one, I'm a huge fan of it. But just think of it as, well, maybe we should go. There's this. Okay, well, let's look through theirs. I just still wasn't a very big fan of it. Okay. So it says a row of black and white tiles need to be placed along a wall. For aesthetic reasons, the architect has specified that the first and last tile should be black. Okay? Kind of like our tiles in here. They really screwed those up massively. Your task is to compute the number of tiles needed and the gap at each end, given the space available and the width of each tile. So givens, we know the width is 100 inches. We know the tile is 5 inches. So we can see 100 divided by 5 is 20, so we have 20 tiles. Makes sense. Everyone with it so far? So given that information, we could very easily figure out the size of our tile. And I'm going to zoom this in just a little. Okay, all right, so you can see it a little bit better in the back. Okay. But wait. Black, white, black. First, we need a black at one end and a white at the other end. So it says, look more carefully at the problem, starting with one black and then some number of white-black pairs. Each pair is 2 times the width of one tile. Considering white and black, that's 2. So our example, 2.5 times 10 inches. So with 100 inches, now we have a gap on either end. Okay. So what are we going to do? You would calculate the width of the black tile and calculate the width of the pair. Then figure out the total. I mean, has anyone ever done tile work? I mean, you probably have, or have it. Some people, it is not fun. And when I had my house built, I tell you, we had to pick out tile. And actually, we picked out one where there was like a border tile, then the inner tile. I didn't install it, so it wasn't a big deal. But then I got the bill. It was $1,000. When I went to closing of my house, oh, that was an additional $1,000 because you had border tile. Seriously? Because they had to figure out, exactly, you want the borders to be even. It's like they're talking about here, they want black on either side. So it really caused a much more of a bill for me than I really expected, because tile was included in the cost of the house, except not border tile. So it was something. So here it says to calculate the gap. So it's 100 minus 95 will be a 5-inch total gap. And then you would divide that by 2 and end up with 2.5 inches on either side. So what they're trying to do is center it on the area. Okay. Okay. And how many pairs? No. I don't want to go through the rest of this one. So we're going to go through plenty of those other ones.
No.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just don't like that one. It's kind of weird the way they did that. I want to get into this section. This section is much better. Let's talk more about strings. So string is a combination or a collection of characters. Okay. So my name Ken has 3 characters in it, K-E-N. Makes sense, okay? Your names have more or less than that. Characters are letters, numbers, punctuation marks, spaces, special characters, or anything. So a character can pretty much be anything. And a string is a sequence of characters, okay? All right, string literals are specified by enclosing the sequence of characters in single or double quotes. Now this is where Python varies. Java, for instance, have to be in double quotes. Characters are in single quotes, but in Python, it can be either way. Okay, so it really depends on your language. Is there anyone taking more than one language right now? None of you? Okay. But you have it easy that way. Because it does get confusing working with 2 sometimes. Okay. So you see in this example here, print this is a string, so is this. I think I showed you an example in the first week of class where, if you want to print the single quote, then you put it in double quotes. If you want to print the double quotes, you put it in single quotes. Okay, so by allowing both types, Python makes it easier to include apostrophe or a quote within a string. You do no longer need an escape character like you would in Java. Okay? So use matching pairs. That's easy enough there. String length. I'm going to bring up idle real quick. Okay, just so we can do some of this stuff right here. Now, just like they have here, I'm going to type in len for length. You can tell it's reserved because it turned purple. This is world. World. And what that does is it tells us the length of the string. Now, to count those up, WORLD is 5. Then we have an apostrophe, which is not apostrophe, exclamation point, which makes it 6. Okay, easy enough there. How do we number the string, though? Do you know how we reference the different characters, what the numberings are? Like, what's the W? What's the index number? Anybody? So, it's a 0. It starts at a 0. So, position 0 is a W, so we only go through 5. Okay? Now, a string of length 0 is called an empty string. It contains no characters and is written like that with 2 quotes together or 2 single quotes together. I will tell you, working with empty strings is tough. It's like working with a null string. It's just not the easiest thing in the world to mess with. All right, string concatenation. We can add string together, but it's not really adding. It's really joining them together with a plus signal or a plus sign. Here we have last name plus first name, and it's going to give us Harry Morgan. Now you'll notice there is no space in that. Okay? If you want to add a space like they did here, you would have to actually put a space in it. Okay? Then it will actually become Harry Morgan with a space. Now, if we wanted to print it out, we actually could print first and last with a comma, and it would have then put a space in there as well. But many different ways to do it. A string concatenation is an example of a concept called operator overload. Okay, you're going to hear this quite a bit. Okay, what that means is the plus sign does multiple things. Okay, so the plus sign can be used to concatenate strings together, but can also be used to add numbers. Make sense? Okay, easy enough there. Okay, pretty simple stuff there. Still can't believe I was late. Okay, now let's talk about repetition here for a second. Say I want to print something. I want to print a dash. Okay, there we go. I got a dash. Okay, just a single dash. Now, if you look down here, they're talking about repetition. What we can do now, we can actually do times 50, and we'll print 50 dashes. Okay. So what we told it was print a dash times 50. So it did not perform a mathematical calculation, but it just repeated that dash. What if I had a dash exclamation point? Oops, let me bring that one down. You could do dash exclamation point. Now you'll get that 50 times. So pretty cool. If you want to repeat something more than once, and not a goal, but really I think kind of important when writing programming, if you're going to do something multiple times, either find some way to automate the task. Like here, we could very easily calculate that. Now, do you think there's a way we could print the dash exclamation point, but we want to print it for the amount of times that's equal to the length of the word world? Any idea what I'm talking about? So what I could do, see up here how we did the length of world? What if we took this sign here, and rather than a 50, we could actually put length of, oops, I need this, world. So what that's going to do, what do you think it's going to do now?
26 times.
Should be 5 this time because I didn't put the exclamation point. It did it 5 times. Now, it did not print, I'm trying to get this up so you can see it a little bit better.
Can you access the properties with dot syntax too? Like,
say if you're holding world in a variable.
Oh yeah,
variable
world.length.
length.
Yeah. Actually, you could do it. Well, let me show you that. We could do, you know, place. Come on, get back in there. What did I do?
It's go to the bottom one.
Oh, there we go. World. World. Okay. So now we can bring this down and we could actually do, yeah, it's not world.length in here. It's length, it's that way. Okay. Yeah, you can't do, I don't think you can. You should not be able to do this. Here's what I think you were saying. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you can do that. Pretty sure. No, you can't. I didn't think you could. Yeah, it's a little different the way that works.
Can you not import a library?
See, the problem is the string library is already imported. So now someone might have written a library to do it as well, but it would be I wouldn't know which one to import.
It seems like the string should be part of it should be an object, right? So
Yeah, and you should be able to call the method to do with the object, like length or something.
yeah.
It don't work that way. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It doesn't work that way. Okay. Converting numbers to strings, we can use the string method, str. That would convert our balances to or in this case to strings, and we can print out the string. And in the bottom, we're converting strings to numbers. Okay. Very easy to do there. Okay. Let's do an example of that. So if I had balance equals 123, I could say, you know, new val equals string of 123. String of balance.
Yeah.
So if I print out balance, I get 123. But if I print out any val, you'll see I get a string now. Because the first one, when I printed balance, I actually get the numeric value. And since any val has been converted to a string, now when I print it out, I actually get it inside of a single quote. Okay. It's kind of important you know how to do back and forth. Because it's done all the time. Okay, so the strings are a sequence of characters. We use what's called Unicode. It handles over 100,000 characters, and we will use that in other classes, but I'll tell you about it when we get to it. Okay, it's a way to encode text. Okay. It says characters stored in integer values. Let's bring up, I think, TextPad's on these, isn't it? Yeah. I use a program in Java called TextPad. And if you go up here and if you look at the clip library, come on, maybe. There it is. You can actually see like the letter A right here. Might be hard for you guys in the back, but the letter A is actually ASCII value 65. ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So what would you think the number 1 would be? You would think it's 1. It's not. It's actually 49. Okay. So if you want to print out the number 1, it's 49. Okay. So let's do an example of that. Say I want to print out the character, actually the string of 1. That's not going to be what I want. Hold on. I want, is it the ord? Oh, come on. Hold on. Well, no. Or I'll expect a string length of 1, but I found, oh, I need a string. That's right. So let's do ord of 1. There it is. Okay. So here I told it the string value of 1, and it tells me the ordinal value is 49 because that's the ASCII value. It depends on which language you are, how that's done. Now I could say, what is the string value of 49? No, that didn't get it. That's not what I wanted. It's, what's the other one? Backwards from ordinal value.
A.
What is it?
A? Or no?
No, there's a way. Can't think of well, we'll see it here in a minute. I'm sure it'll be in here. It's not okay. Ordinal goes that way. I'll find it in a minute.
CHR?
What is it?
CHR?
Is it CHR? Maybe it is.
No, we tried that earlier.
Yeah. Did we try CHR? Yeah, that was it. Okay. Yeah,
It's true.
see. All right. So what happened is I said the string of 49, oh, I'm sorry, the ordinal value of 1 gave us its ASCII value of 49. Then here I said the character value of the number 49, and it went back to 1 again. So it's not that big a deal, but like in my, is anyone in cryptography? Joel is, a couple of you are. Working on the Caesar cipher, we have to increase by 3 or increment by 3. Well, the easiest way to increment a string or a letter, say you want to take A, you want to go to D. Well, what you want to do is convert the A to its numeric value, which would be 65, then add 3 to it, 368, then convert it back to the character again. So you use these a whole bunch going back and
Oh,
forth.
nice.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's look at an example on that. I'm trying to get this so it's a little higher on the screen for you guys. So if I said, actually, let me open up a Python file, new file. You can walk through this example if you want. That's fine. Save as. Let's put it on my desktop. I can't believe I was late that fast. Let's try it. 29 August. Okay. So if I had a string called my name equals ABC, in this case will be easier. So if I did print my name, we should get ABC. Y'all agree? We did. Not a problem. Now, I'm trying to get this all on the screen at the same time. Trying to move this stuff around a little. So, what if I want to print out the letters? Does anyone have a clue? I know some of you had some basic Python before. How can I print out the first letter of my name? Anybody? Anybody? What? Right, but couldn't we also do this? Hold on.
Yeah.
The 1 colon. Should also be able to do this. I'm sorry, that's the second character. I need the first character. That will give us the A. Okay? So if I print out the 1, I will get the B. If I print out a 2, I will get the C. Okay? Everybody see that? So what if now, let's go back to the A. So now since we know that's an A, so if we want to convert it to a numeric value, no, we use the ORD. So if I say ORD of that, I should now get 65. Everyone with me? You see how I'm doing that? What I told it was, my name is ABC, printed it out. Then I said, remember, order of operations, we started first. So inside this parenthesis, I say my name 0, which is A. Then I say, give me the ordinal value or the ASCII value of A, and I get 65. So now, what if I did plus 3? What should I get? 68. I got 68. So now I could, what's the opposite of ORD? Is char?
Sure.
CHR?
Okay.
Now we have D. So the A became D. Y'all see that? Especially those of you in crypto. By the way, if you are a cyber major and you do take the crypto class, any Python script you write, you can use. You get extra credit for doing it. So make notes of how we're doing this. But, so you see how I did that? I took the string ABC, I took the first character of that, which was the A. I did that right here in the middle, the first character. Then I converted it to its ordinal value, which was 65. Then I added 3 to it, which became 68, and then converted it back to a letter again. Isn't that nice? So if my name was Ken, what's K? L, N, yeah, K, yeah, yeah. L, N, yeah. So the K became an N. So how can I make you do all of them? Does anyone remember how to do loops in Java? Not Java, Python.
Just
While.
What's another one?
if else.
How about for loops? Anyone ever use for
Yeah.
loop?
Yeah.
Oh, with ranges.
Oh, gosh.
For x in range, let's do 2. Not familiar to anybody?
Yeah.
So now what I could do is I could actually take this line here, and I could get rid of the 0, put an x there. Oh, sorry, I got to go to 3, because that's the one beyond. NHQ. That is Ken shifted by 3.
No.
Yeah. If you want to be sure it actually did work, we'll go A, B, C. Comes D, E, F. And if I wanted to even make it better, how can I make it better? I can get rid of this, can I? Now it's going to take whatever
Yeah,
length.
that way you don't have to 3.
So now I don't even want this. How can I get input for name? Anybody? Anything? Input, very good. Input. Please enter name.
Oh,
10
wow.
NHQ. Oops, not that. I didn't mean to click there. A, B, C, D, E, F. Gotta admit, that's an awful short script.
Mhm.
Now, you notice I kind of did 3 things on one. I did name X in the middle, then then I added 3, then care. A lot of times people do that on separate lines. There's no need to. Everybody follow me on this? So you could very easily, now that you know this, convert something back. Could we go the other way?
Yeah.
Well, how can we go the other way?
-3.
We could do -3, okay? We haven't got to the tough part yet, though. So, we had DEF. So if my name is DEF, I get ABC.
Wow.
Nice. So it's working. You all agree it works?
Mhm.
But is there a problem with it?
Yeah.
Does anyone know what the problem is? Well, okay, but all right. My name is now ABC.
You can enter anything.
What do you think my name is going to be? Greater than, question mark, at sign. Didn't quite work right, did it? Does anyone know why?
It's like there are symbols before.
So I get to an A, when we added 3, we got to D, no problem. But when we're at A, we subtract 3. That sucks. So, see the slight problem there? Think we could fix that?
You
Put a
could.
conditional in to loop it back to Z.
Yeah, you need to. What you need to do is check. If it's less than 65, what could I do? Add what?
Add the,
So if I subtract the number and it ends up being less than 65, add what?
add the name.
Okay, so if I had, my name was A, B, C. So if I shift the A back by 1 in the alphabet, what should I get? A Z.
Oh, you
So
wrap
shift the
that.
B back by, well, shift the A back by 3. Okay, 1 would give me a Z, 2 would give me a Y, 3 would give me an X, wouldn't it?
Mhm.
So when I shift A, if it's less than 65, add 26. we have 26 letters in the alphabet? That'll work perfectly.
Could you put that in like a lambda or an inline, like so that you don't have to?
Like, you mean like a ternary statement or something like that?
I mean, I'm familiar with JavaScript, so an inline function is something that you would just throw into like an anonymous function or something to check the.
What I would do, first of all, I would probably make it print all in one line, like somebody said. But I would probably do it right here. You know, if X, you know, or whatever, my name X minus 3, or that word value is less than 65, then add a value to it. Probably where I would do it. There is another way to do it. You can actually do it with modulus.
You can import random. Make it random as a number.
Yeah, possibly.
Like if you wanted to like make it completely random.
Yeah, but what if I don't want random? Let's see. So let's look at this for a second. So what A is 65. Yeah, so we need an if statement. I don't want to fix the whole thing. We need to finish with the lecture. Maybe we'll come back to this one. I want to get this lecture finished today. Since I started like, okay. So, but to understand now, did I miss a slide? No, okay. So each letter in our string has an index number. They start with 0, and they go up to the length minus 1. The reason it's length minus 1 is because we start with 0. Excuse me. Certain languages like VB, you can actually tell to start with 1. Java, Python, you can't. Okay. So in here, Harry, we do name 0, we get the H. Name 4, we get Y. That'll most likely be on your test. So many people get that wrong. All right, string operations. We can concatenate. We can print. We can check the string. We can check the length. We can print out a specific character, and we can also use the length of a string minus 1 to print the last character. So we pretty much did all. But there's so much more beyond this. Okay. All right. There's some methods that work for us. Okay. It says in computer programming, an object in a software entity represents a value of a certain behavior. Okay. We can do different things like with strings. We can have, they can be complex. They can be, you know, Word file. They can be a data file. They can be anything. And we have a lot of methods to go with them. In the bottom example on the screen, they're actually converting something to upper. Okay. Let's look at that. So I'm going to comment my for loop out for right now. I'm going to say print, not like that, print my name dot upper. That should give me whatever I enter in uppercase. So if I enter it as KEN uppercase, I'm going to get KEN in uppercase. But if I enter it in KEN, in uppercase is the whole thing. Okay. So if I entered it in lowercase, A, B, C, I get uppercase for all of it. So no matter what the case is, it makes it uppercase. Okay, so obviously if we can do uppercase, we can do lowercase. Okay. Now I've converted all of them to lowercase. Pretty simple there. There's one called title case, I think. Yep, there sure is. So my name is now ABC, and it's good.
Sure is.
Yeah, there is.
Is title capitalized wrong? Can it be a?
Maybe, you're right, maybe it's lowercase. I know there is one. There it is. Okay. The title, so it capitalizes the very first letter. So there's a lot more, and I think they're going to list some more of them here. But you know, before I go on to any more slides, I want to find out what some of these string methods are without looking at the slides. How can I find that out? Anybody? Ideas? Google. Wow, it's this wonderful website. It knows everything. Do Python string methods. Oh, look. Uppercase, lowercase, swap, L strip, left strip, stuff like that. And there should be, I'm looking for a, there it is, Python docs. We can capitalize, center, count, decode, encode, is alpha, is digit, is lower, is, so what do you think is digit does? Yeah, check to see if it's a digit. Maybe I'm getting input for something and I say, please enter zip code. I want to find out if you entered numbers so I can check if it is digit or is alpha, is title, is upper. I can also join strings together. Left justify, I could left strip, right strip, I could replace something, replace the whatever with the whatever. Okay, there's right justify, right split. Oh, split's kind of cool. Let's do split for a second. Where's my thing? So we're gonna do split on, what do I want to split on? And I'm gonna put it numbered. So I'm gonna split it on a B. A, B, C. What split does is it takes your string, in this case was A, B, C. I told it to split on a B. So whenever it finds a B, it separates it out, which is kind of cool. Now let's run this one more time. So if I did A, B, C, actually A, B, C, B, C, A, B, C, I did it twice. Now it did an A because there's an A before the B. And since I did A, B, C, there's a C and A between the two B's. That's why I got CA. Then there's a C after it. I use that a lot. Let me show you my example when I did it. Way down here somewhere. When I create, what I did is I had to create something and I added squiggly between each thing. So I added the username, the original word, the rule, the password, all that stuff with squigglies between it. That way I could pass it and return it as a value, but I can always split it back out later. And I did. I used a split down here somewhere. There it is. See, now I'm splitting it based on that. And I can find out that, okay, the first element was username, because you can tell right up here, username was the first element. This, index 1 was the original word. Index 2 was the row. Index 3 was the password. So obviously down here, I can say index 3 was the password. See how I'm doing all that?
What if the password has a tilde in it?
That's why I did tilde.
Oh.
Trust me, I had tilde once, and one of the passwords had tilde in it. So I'm like, so I tried to dash. Passwords had dash. So I tried to pick up something that wouldn't be used. But I can always change it to, tilde or something. That's the cool thing about split. You can tell it to split on whatever you feel like. So it's kind of nice. Okay. All right, we're back here. All right, let's go back to my slide. So lots of functions. I just showed you on that docs page. There's tons of them. Now, does anyone ever use begins with S, the website? Got the answers to everything. Stack Exchange, thank you. Stack Exchange. I will warn you about that website. It's got tons of stuff up there. But it's kind of like everybody puts their answers up there, then you all vote on which one's the best. But a lot of times, you kind of got to be choosy. Just because somebody said this was the right answer or the best answer might not be the one for you. Okay. My wife did an exercise in her class. Y'all know what a Raspberry Pi is? Well, she's got them in her class, and she's installing them to run Screenly. Screenly is the thing I got run on my door downstairs. It shows my schedule. Okay. Well, she told the students, figure out how to install it. Well, if you type in how to install Screenly, it gives you instructions. You can do it once using Raspbian, or the option number 2 is to use Noobs. Raspbian's like 50 steps. Noobs is 2 steps. Which one would you go with? The Noobs, there's only 2 steps. Well, what do you think the students did? They started number 1. They spent the entire day yesterday going through every step of using Raspbian. They could never get it to work. So what she did is, because she had never done it either. So she looked at what the different options were, I said, oh, this is only 2 steps long, and she did that one, literally had it done totally within 1 hour up and running. So our point is, if you're looking at Stack Exchange, look at what they give you. Because sometimes it ain't right, or it's not what you're looking for. So be careful with that. Okay. All right. Lower upper, we talked about that. We didn't do a replace. Let's do a replace. Okay. Let's do replace. Oops, not uppercase. Replace a B with a D. Okay, so now if I get A, B, C, I should get what? A, D, C, shouldn't I? Replace BD, I get A, D, C. Okay, and what if I run it again? Now I'm talking AA or AAC. What am I going to get now? Just AAC. Like, you ain't got no B's, so I replaces nothing. Okay, see how that works? So pretty simple to do replace, just old, new. What if I wanted to make my script so it handled uppercase and lowercase? Because here's what I'm talking about. Because here if I said ABC, would that replace the B and the D? No, because I'm only saying uppercase. So I think I can go upper. Pretty sure I can do this. Let's find out. Yep, sure can. Okay. It's called method called chaining. You can actually chain stuff together. So I said my name, dot upper, dot replace, dot strip, dot lower. I mean, you can literally put them all in one. So it's kind of cool the way all this stuff works.
Could you put like one chain like in brackets and then keep the
Yes, you
chain
could.
going?
Yeah. You could have it do this stuff and then return that to the one before it. Yeah, you could do all kinds of bizarre stuff. And have you ever, okay, this does not pertain to Python. Have you ever been here? We don't have the Flash installed. Darn it. You ever been to ZomboCom? Oh, ZomboCom is amazing. Oh, but is it? Oh, is it installed? Okay, fine. Oh, it is on there.
Welcome
What?
to ZomboCom. This is ZomboCom.
You ever been here? No. Oh, dude, you need to watch ZomboCom.
This is ZomboCom.
But I use this as examples with kids because there's no bad words in
You
it.
can do anything at ZomboCom.
You can do anything.
Anything at all.
That's basically Python.
The only limit is yourself.
It's a pretty stupid website. It goes on for about 5 minutes. The unattainable is attainable. It's on, I think it goes on forever. It's very intelligent by teacher. But my point is, in Python, there's nothing impossible. It can be done. If it's not already been done, figure it out how to do yourself. Okay? So it's pretty fun stuff. So just because you can't figure it out doesn't mean it can't be done. All right. Escape sequences. So if you want to print quotes, you can use escape sequences. Or how else could I do that? So how could I print hello with quotes around it? Let's copy this out of here. So I'm going to copy this thing into my code. Get rid of this line here. Get rid of all these for the moment. I'm just not deleting them. Let's see what this line actually does. Now it prints hello with quotes. What's another way I could do that?
Single quote.
I could do it with just single quotes on the outside. So I could get rid of this. Now it'll do the same exact thing. So which way is easier?
Single quote.
I bet you said the other way is easier.
What?
Yeah, escape characters. What do you think?
Sorry, what's the question again?
Okay, this way here. Now we're having single quotes on the outside, and or this way.
It seems like using escape characters is never the easy way. It's a pain in the ass.
It's a pain in the ass, but it works on most languages.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that
Yeah,
is,
if you consider it.
if you get a job writing Python, you know you're going to be doing those. You're going to have a section of JavaScript or a section of this. And it's different in each language. Escape sequences work in all languages that I remember. Pretty sure they do. So either way is fine. You just got to realize, you know, different languages do it in different ways. I like the escape sequence because I've been using it for so long. But since I've also been using Python a lot lately, now I'm writing without the escape sequences. So it's kind of like either way will work. See what I'm saying? All right, so you can use it. Now, if you want a double backslash, now this is a big deal. If you want to specify a path to a directory, I think I did it in mine. I don't know if it's in this file now. No, it's not in this file. I specified an actual directory to it, and I had to do that using double slashes. Oh, there it is. I did it. Okay, right here. I saved the answers to this whole thing. What this does is it prints it, then it actually generates a D2L import file. Well, I save it in a directory called JTR answers / file name -all. So since I want JTR answers / in other words, a directory /, I had to give it 2 slashes. Because 1 slash is considered an escape character, so I had to give it 2. Okay? So just stuff like that does happen. Okay? And a /n is Newline. It's like hitting the enter key. I know you've all seen that before. If you haven't, you should have seen it by now. So if I did this, if I did that, it's going to be, he said hello on a separate line. He said hello on a separate line. Okay.
He said,
Okay. And I think, what's the other
it's
one?
interesting. I just read that.
If that's a new line, what's the line break? Is it not B, is it? There's another way. I'm trying to think what it is. No, that ain't it.
That's interesting, man.
Yeah, I can't remember what it
Damn,
is.
You need to do a carriage return?
Yeah. What's carriage return? No, it's not C.
Cello.
Cello.
I don't remember what it is. The point is there's so much stuff you can do, and you're not going to remember all of it. You can always, look it up. Okay.
/R.
Is it /R? Okay, let's do /R. I could not remember that for the life of me. Didn't get it. Oh, it got character, but it didn't get a new line. So there's probably a carriage return in there, but that was in. Either way, not important. You probably will never use it. I think I've used it like once in a whole bunch of time. All right, let's go on down. Okay, input and output. Okay, we've already done this. You can get input. Now, you do not have to specify any text in there. Like, now here I got my name. So if I run that, it's going to prompt me for a name. Okay, but I could do it with nothing in here. What do you think about that?
You have no idea what to do.
Exactly. You have no idea what's going on. You're like, what? And so I always recommend putting something in here, Put something. That way, at least they know, hey, you're waiting on something, okay? All right. Formatted output. This is kind of cool. It's like printf in Java. It's a way what you're doing is you're using a format specifier. I'm going to copy this line out right here. All right, I'm going to put it in my code. Get rid of this guy. And get rid of that guy. Okay, Let's see what that one. Oh, I don't have price specified. Okay, what's the price of gas? 234, 243 or something?
Yeah, it was 245, yeah.
Okay, 243. Okay. Now, what if I said 243,657? You still get 244. Because what this tells it is, I want a decimal place, I want a floating point, but down to 2 digits.
Isn't there a class method for currency and?
Yeah, you can do, yes, there is. Yeah. What if I did this, though? What if I said gas was 2.4, but I'm specifying 2?
2.40.
Right, 2.40. Okay. What if I said 00.2? What am I going to get now? And I'm going to put the dollar sign right here.
I'll just see this.
Didn't do anything? Seriously?
Just add a dollar sign.
Oh, wait a minute. My bad.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's what I wanted.
That's what
My bad. No, we're still going to do it.
Yeah, still 2.
Okay, hold on. We're going to get there. I know it's there. That does 2 at. Okay, there's a way to right there. Wait, no, that's not the one beforehand. Then it's called the format specifier. We got to specify the one in the beginning. Format specifiers. Oh, that's total width. Hold on. That's what, I couldn't remember this. Say we put, yeah, that's the total width of it. So say I want this thing to be 8 long. So now 2.4 will have, it'll be 2.40, but the total width will be 8. There it is. That's what I want. You see, this takes up 3 or 4. So now we have 4.
That's for
Yeah,
like
4
additional
spaces.
thousands of dollars or something.
Yeah. But you want to make sure you have enough room to hold everything. Okay. All right. Yeah, format specifiers are amazing, and you will see stuff like that. And you can do left and right justified by putting a negative sign. It makes left justification. No sign gives us right justification. So if I took my code over here, put -8, it'll actually be left justified. Yep. You can't see it, but if I was to put, an @ sign there, you will see now there's a space after it before that. Yeah. So let's say let's get rid of the dollar sign. We'll put an @ sign so you can see the difference. So that's right justified. If I get rid of the minus sign, now sorry, that's left. Now it'll be right. See the difference? Minus sign. You're never going to remember all this. I don't remember all this. I just have to look it up real quick. It's not hard to find. Just go online, type in Python format specifier. Done. It's right there. It's pretty simple to find. Here's an example program. Yeah, we're not going to walk through all these, but this is an amazing sheet right here. You can specify spaces. You can even specify hexadecimal, binary, and octal in here. So you can do all that, which they don't show you all of that, but you'll learn that in my other class. All right, we're almost out of time. How about we do the graphics one next time? And we're not going to have time to cover graphics today. And since I was late, I'm not going to sign homework assignment today.
Yay!
Okay, but I'm going to sign Monday. My bad. I still can't believe I was late.
You're
long as I
gonna be
remember
late
to come to
Monday
class.
too.
Oh, now?
You're gonna be late Monday too.
Ah, killing me.